My AC system was not efficient. It was not blowing as cold as it should, especially when the temperature is above 90 degrees. So I decided to recharge my system. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bagwindy DIY Auto, and this is another video on my Nissan Armada. My AC system is not operating efficiently like it usually does, so I am going to recharge the system. In order for me to do that, I'm just going to depressurize the system and vacuum down the system and recharge it. So let's get into it. So here is my gauges here. I just purchased this gauges here through Amazon, and also my vacuum pump, which is this guy here, and I'm just now going to put it to use. So first thing I'm going to do is to check the system, make sure that it's totally depressurized. It was done yesterday, and I assume it should still depressurized. So I am going to go ahead and connect the system. This is the low pressure line here, which goes to this low pressure line here. The low pressure line has a smaller connection. So it goes here, which is spring loaded. Just pull up on the spring loaded valve here and just slide it over. It locks in. The next one is the high pressure, which is much bigger connection, and it goes to the high pressure line here. This one here, you can see the cap says high. You can see the H on there, and this red line here goes to it, and the same concept. Raise up on the valve, which is spring loaded, put it on there, and it locks on there just like that. Make sure that it's closed, and this one here is also make sure that it's closed. Now the next line I have here is the yellow line. Now this line here goes to the vacuum pump. And this is the port for the vacuum. Okay, this is the high pressure line here, should always close. Never open this line here. The only line we're going to open here is the low pressure line. So I'm going to open this line here to see if there's any pressure in the system. This line is open. Now I can go ahead and open the line on the low pressure side here. Now we have zero pressure on the line, on the system here. Okay. Now I can go ahead and open this valves here on the high pressure side and open the valve on the low pressure side. Now I can go ahead and start my vacuum process. I'm going to vacuum the system for 30 minutes. Okay guys, so let me recap the process here. My AC system was not efficient. It was not blowing as cold as it should, especially when the temperature is above 90 degrees. So I decided to recharge my system. In order for me to recharge my system, I need to depressurize the system and then vacuum down the system and then recharge it. So here I am. I connected my red line to the high pressure line here and opened it. I connected the blue line to the low pressure side and opened it. And then I opened my valve on the manifold, which are the gauges here. And now I can go ahead and I connected my yellow line to the vacuum port here. So now the system can, so now I can start the process of vacuum down the systems. So now I can go ahead and turn the vacuum pump on for 30 minutes and let it go ahead and does its work. Okay guys, so now the 30 minutes is up and I have here 30 inches of mercury. That's how much suction in the system right now. And what I'm going to do next is to close this valve here off before I turn off my compressor. So I'm going to close this valve here. Then I can go ahead and turn my compressor here off. Now the next step is watch my gauge for another 30 minutes to make sure that it stays at 30 inches of mercury. If it stays there for the next 30 minutes, I know there's no leakage in the system. If this gauge here dropped closer to the zero or towards the zero, I know there is a leakage in the system. So that's going to be my next step. I'm going to wait for 30 more minutes and watch this gauge here, make sure it's stationary, it does not move. So that's going to be my next step. So see you again in the next 30 minutes. Okay guys, 30 minutes is up. So now I can check for my leakage, make sure there's no leak in the system. The gauge is still at 30 inches of mercury. So I know the system is not leaking. Now I can go ahead and close my high pressure valve here. And my low pressure valve. And make sure my low pressure valve on the manifold gauge here is closed. Now I can go ahead and disconnect the line from my vacuum pump. And the next process is recharge the systems. Okay guys, so as I showed you before, where the system is at 30 inches of mercury, where all the valves are open, and I can see there's no leakage in the systems here. The needle is still at 30 inches of mercury, so I know the system is locked tight, no leakage. Now I can go ahead and recharge the systems. So here are my refrigerants. I bought these through Amazon. These are R134A refrigerants. These are what rated for the systems here. And I'm getting ready to recharge the system. So this is the valve that came with the package along with the gauges. And my low pressure valve here is closed, and my high pressure valve here is closed, and also my valves here on the gauges here are closed. I never touch this one here, the red one here. I don't want any cross feeds. So this is always closed. My low pressure valve, that's the one I'm going to be using. At this point here, this valve here is closed. Now I can go ahead and connect my refrigerant to this yellow line right here. So this is the valve that came in the kit that I can attach my refrigerants to this yellow line, and then I can start the process of servicing the systems. So here I go, connect this end here to the valve, and make sure that this valve here is open. You see, if you tighten the valve, it compresses and open the cans. I don't want that at this point, so I'm going to back it off and leave it closed all the way back. Now I can go ahead and attach my refrigerant to this valve. Make sure it's tight. Make sure this line here is also tight. Now I'm going to bleed this yellow line here just for a couple seconds, because after disconnecting this line here from the vacuum pump, air usually get inside this line, and that's what we don't want in the system. So once I open this can, I'm going to crack this line right here just to bleed the air that enter this yellow line here. So let me go ahead and start the process of open the can by, you can hear the pressure opens. Then I back it off. Now I should have refrigerant entering this line up to this point here. So I'm going to crack this line here. It's a little tight. Get it. Okay, I'm just going to bleed the air out of this yellow hose here. There's the air. Okay. Okay. Now I know the air is escape out of here. Now I can go ahead and open this valve here. And my low pressure valve here. And my high pressure valve here. Now I can go ahead, and you can see the pressure now is entering the system. You can see Okay, that's the first can. Can go ahead and close my valve here. I'm going to go ahead and close this other valve, low pressure valve. And my valve here. Now I can go ahead and back off this valve here and disconnect it from here. And add the other can. Okay guys, so now I service the system. I'm going to now start the vehicle and turn everything on high, turn the fan up high, make sure that the AC system is on auto, and finish service the systems. So let's get into that. Okay, now the compressor is on. I am looking for 190 on the pressure side. This is right at 200, which is okay. And the low side is at 80 approximately, which is recommended which is good as recommended in the service manual. So I know the system is good. Now I can go ahead and check, make sure that the low side here is cold, and check the inside and make sure that it's blowing cold. Okay, now the system is fully serviced. I can go ahead, close my valve here. Close my low pressure valve here. Disconnect my valve. Disconnect my other valve. Now I can go ahead and place my cap. Now I place my other cap. Remove my gauge. Okay guys, and that completed this task. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you again. Goodbye.